Well, men, boys, women, girls, and other androgynous strains out there, it's Olight Oknife Parrot, and you get a coin in there too. See how crazy that is? I mean, you get a coin with these different knives, including the beagle, the splint, the driver, etc., etc. So that's pretty cool. Didn't get a coin with the night claw, but that's the exception. Make sure, because these are going to be on sale till midnight, November 29th. Make sure you click in, and because for any purchase at all, you get this for free. Okay, and it's USB-C rechargeable because it's the Pro, the i1R2 Pro, not the i1R2 Pro. USB-C rechargeable, not mini USB, and 180 lumens, and it is a chunk. It feels heavier. I'll have to get into that and see if it really is indeed heavier. So there's 5 lumens, but there's 180 lumens. Man, that's crazy bright. And like I said, USB-C rechargeable. Go figure. And you know, the earliest models they'd pull apart so people would lose one part or the other. Then they made them in the 2 model. They made them to where you couldn't pull them apart, but otherwise they were the same. And then the Pro, they kicked up the lumens and made it USB-C rechargeable. Yay. Love it. So make sure you get that. Back to the Parrot. Well, welcome one and all to the little discussion on the Olight Oknife Parrot. And I got a refrigerator magnet. Gee, I needed one more just to make my set complete, to completely cover my refrigerator. So there you go. This, of course, Parrot came out on their Black Friday sale, November sale. And so I got a G10. I got one in my Carta of that. Now, of course, the Beagle is also Regal. So, and of course they had the driver, the splint, and of course they also have the Night Claw, by the way, which is out. And let me see how you kick that open. It's basically a button lock, okay, and a D2 blade. Way cool. And they give you a little lanyard and all that kind of stuff, or lanyard cord and a bead. This is the Parrot. This I looked at on their sale, and I wasn't sure if it really spoke to me or not. But I got it in my hand. And then kind of my view of this changed a bit. 154 cm blade steel, by the way, and it's a front flipper, but you can also middle finger flick this thing. There's a front flipper, so you can flip it like that, or you can open it like this. It's not a very big knife, but it's big this way. It's tall, fat, chunky knife, okay? Like I said, 154 cm, and it's stonewash, and let me show you, I mean, the box, slides open like this. And then you get your stuff near the top, which, hold on. The knife will be in the top here, okay? And pull it out, and this is the micarta one, okay? And it comes in a sleeve like that, okay? So let me see. First kick, and yes. So this is you can get it in a black blade with micarta scales, okay? Or you can get it with G10. Ooh, that kind of dropped like pretty crazy guillotine, didn't it? Wow. That's even more frisky than the G10 is. So that's definitely varied a bit. Also, you'll notice the pouch still has some weight to it, especially at one end. and which means that they're doing this, and they've done this on the other knives as well, correct? I mean, they give you a coin with it, which is kind of cool. You know, I mean, you could line up these coins and go at it, huh? This says the parrot. It's got a parrot sitting on a knife. All right. Nice design. Interesting. You know, kind of like a little pocket coin you can carry with you or whatever. Collect the ones for the different, you know, the Drever, the Splint, well, I didn't get one with the Nightclaw, but I mean, got one with the Beagle. So there's that. And of course, I mean, the pouch is nice. It's a Velcro pouch. There's your little pocket where the coin goes in. And, you know, compare this knife to, let's say, something small like the Kubi Mizo. Okay, or, you know, even smaller like the Baby Banter. Okay, so this one's really not, I mean, this one's thin, but it's not as short as you might think. But see that? Interesting. And if you look at, let's get this down, because here's another Kubi knife, the Vagrant, and this is more like a 3-inch blade, 7 inches overall. That'll give you more of a perspective. And then, of course, you can get frosty out here. My Paramilitary 2, this is 8 1/4 overall length. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a smaller knife. And it's definitely under 3-inch blade. It's 2 5/8, really. So you could say 2.6, 2.65, something like that. Not quite 70 millimeters, I guess down here at the bottom of the bolster it is. But really up here it's close to about 67 millimeters. And overall length, 6 1/4 at best. And a little over 15.5 centimeters. Okay, so let's see what the blade stock is. I'm going to guess 2.5 millimeter. And is it 3? It's 2.6, closer to 2.5 at 0.10, and 0.46 thick at 11.6. So really, the thickness on this, of course, this is contoured and this is not, but about the same thickness between these two knives. Okay, so not bad. That it's fairly slender in the pocket, no question. And you know, it's just an oval. I mean, it's just a little oval, which is really kind of a nice, you know, shape for a knife. As far as, you know, using it, well, I mean, I think it'd come in handy on certain cutting tasks. And let's get a piece of paper out and see if it'll cut, period. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that one's pretty dang sharp. I mean, this is not a cutting demonstration. It's just kind of chest testing or checking the sharpness out of the box, but they're sharp. You know, the fit and finish are good on these knives, so I have no issue with that. I think whoever made them, and this is Gage, is the designer on this one. So Azo was the designer on the Beagle, right? So are we starting to think Kaiser? Because there's Azo here on the Beagle, okay? And check my video. I got a video on the Beagle. And we'll have one, if I don't already have it, posted on the Nightclaw as well. And I got one on the Drever. I got one on the Splint in the, you know, in my past month or two history. So on my videos. But so ergos, yeah, I mean, I can get all 4 fingers. I'm really backing this one up with my little finger here, but yeah, I can get support with that. And And yes, I mean, it's relatively comfortable. I mean, you got this kind of choil here, and then you're trying to wrap around with the rest of them there, okay? And there's a pass through here to disengage the blade, okay? And so you've got jimping here. Of course, here's your lockup. This is of course, the liner that springs back across the blade to keep it from closing when it gets opened, and that is about 35 to 40% lockup there. And then you can just push this out of the way and close the blade, okay? Otherwise, no. And there's no lock rock, there's no blade plate, it doesn't wobble side to side or up and down. But once you disengage that, it'll drop. This one's maybe a little not as guillotine-ish as the other, and I wonder if that would change if we just did this a little bit. And it's centered up, okay? So let's kick it open. Oh, now it's more drop shutty than before. So interesting, but let's check the lockup on this one. Not as heavy, is it? It's 20%. That's all it is on this one. Okay. Let's check. It's centered though. Looks good. And I was saying, fit and finish are pretty good on these. So I think these are probably equivalent to like the Kaiser Vanguard series, that kind of thing. They're in there with like the Civivi knife, that kind of thing, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's no sharp edges or anything. They look to be pretty well constructed and pretty sturdy. So, yeah. Nice. And I like the packaging. It's good. And they give you the coin, which you may or may not like. There's a lot of guys that just kind of like little extra dribs and drabs, little EDC coins and tools and stuff they carry. So, I mean, I'm not knocking that. I think, that's just a marketing thing that they have to decide to either do or not do. But I think it helps them to stand out a bit. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised because I didn't think I was going to be all that hip to this when I first saw it. But, the more I have it in my hands and knowing that I don't have to front flip it to kick it open, that I can just middle finger flick it open, that makes it nicer. And this, I don't mind little tiny knives, I mean, this is a very small knife. This is cool for what it is. But it's kind of nice when you have some heft even to a small knife. Deep carry pocket clip. No left hand on this one as far as a flip on it. The beagle, of course, yes, you can see the two holes there. You can flip the deep carry clip, right hand or left hand, but this one, no. Okay? But it's deep carry and it is flat screws there. So, okay. Oh, and they got an extra screw back underneath here that goes through that. And, I can tell that is the way a lot of others have done that. And then some of them have abandoned that and used this last little screw under here as the top screw on the pocket clip, which kicks it out a ways, a little bit beyond the end. But actually, it makes it a little deeper carry. Actually, take a look at the Baby Banter by Civivi. They could have made this not as deep a carry. You see what I'm saying? They went over the end of the butt, and here they have not got up there yet. But they went over the end, and therefore they just used 2 screws and not 3, because that top screw there will go right through that standoff like that one does there. Just, okay, hyper focus. But yeah, so I mean, I think there's some guys that like these chunky, small, easy carry knives, and it's not very heavy either. And let's throw it on the scales. See if there's a difference between the G10 and that almost 3.6. I wonder if the mic card is any different. Oh, it's a little lighter. It's actually a little lighter. Grams, 95.2. Yeah, and grams, 101. So yeah, I mean, but I would figure, you know, this is more of a fabric type thing, and this is, you know, a heavier synthetic. So you can almost really tell the difference in your hand. I don't know if you, I think you could do it maybe blindfolded, but normally just using it probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's not that much, but interesting, huh? So kind of cool that they did G10. I like G10. I tend to like it because it's really pretty hardy. It's rough and tough. Although this, see the texture on here being really smooth, where this is more grippy texture. So they didn't put a lot of texture on here. But so if you want more texture, well, you're going to get it here. That's for sure. And maybe just so happens that, that this one, it definitely drops. This one, wow. You got to kind of watch it. You can't be too cavalier when you disengage. But you can see, since you've got a choil area in here, when it drops and hits your thumb, that's not a sharpened area. But watch it, because you don't want to disengage the knife, you know, way back in this choil area, or it will swing around and hit you with a sharpened edge. So get up on there, and it releases it over the detamp ball. Okay, just like that. And we will disassemble one of these. I guess we'll disassemble this one. It's a little easier to see components when you don't have everything blacked out. But this may be a preferential color and situation for a lot of people that don't want anything overly reflective, or they like it a little bit more subtle look to it. I'd say the detent on this, though, by the way, is how, you know, how much this, and there's no play in the detent, how much it holds onto this blade. I wouldn't want it any stronger. I think she's all you want to go. Because I like it a little, I like it fairly light if you're going to do a front flipper, because otherwise you make it too strong, your thumb slips off, and you end up, the knife, I mean, you're only holding a knife like this, okay? It's not like you've got it like this for a top flipper, okay? Now, can you reach over because of the how short it is? All right, well, I was thinking maybe you could reach your finger over here. You might be able to, but the detent's strong here. I don't know if it's any lighter here. Okay. And I think the detent is a little bit lighter on this one, which is not bad, because you can reach over the top like that and kick it. But this one is a little stronger detent, and I can't reach over the top and do that. So if it was a little lighter detent on this one, it'd be nice. All right, so number 8, body screws on this, which is good, you know, because then you can just use one tool, except for the pocket clip, you know. And so in this case, there's no entrance here from the front, okay? And you have a screw you can get to here, but you can't get to this screw without taking the pocket clip off. So we will be taking the pocket clip off, because we're going to go in from this side. And we got to get to that final screw underneath. So let's do this. But you know what? These screws are coming off very nicely, and they're not hanging up, and thank God they didn't just slam this thing shut with a bunch of real hard Loctite or thread locker, and I just kicked that out. They look the same length though. Get out of here. Now, here's that final body screw in a number 8 Torx. And so the whole thing, there goes the body screw, and this is going to all come away at some point in time. Come on. Oh, did I not finish you up? I guess I had one little half a turn yet to go. Okay, so we got the pivot screw out. Jeez, get particular on me. Okay, body screw, pocket clip. I'm going to move it up to here, and pivot screw. There's our lock bar side on the G10, okay, and like I said before, it's contoured like this. Here's your liner. So it's not a nested liner. It's side by side here. It's not nested up inside the scales. I think that makes a pretty solid deal that way. I kind of prefer it that way. Oh, well, I know why she's got pretty good action on the blade. Look at this. You get multi-row ceramic bearings. Wow, big upgrade there. That's cool. I mean, I like it, especially when this is a heavy enough blade. It'll benefit from multi-row. There's some, if they're super tiny, no, it probably won't benefit, but that's heavy enough to get that, to help it roll. And that explained why this crazy thing, hold on, let me kick it open. Well, let's do it the old-fashioned way. When that just rolled down real easy, and I thought, okay, get you out of here. Yeah, see? Ooh, she drops. Yeah, okay. So that explains that. Multi-row. Now you've got this skeletonized through here, this liner, and see this flat spot here on this liner as well? Well, that's because you have this pivot pin going through here, and it's going to meet up with that. And the only way it's going to go through is like that, which means this is not going to turn. I mean, it'll turn just a skosh, and then it'll stop because it's locked up on that, which means, that you can unscrew the screw in the back here, okay, and not have to worry about turning the whole pivot, because if you make it perfectly round and you make this little thing here perfectly round, the whole thing could just turn, and then you'll never get it unscrewed, especially if you got a lot of thread locker in there. So this is good. This solves that problem. All right, we got it apart. Not a lot of parts to really worry about here. Of course, you got your pivot that slides on through, multi-row ceramic bearings, easy breezy, on a steel liner like that. And then put your blade, I was grabbing the wrong thing. Put your blade down there, multi-row ceramic bearings again, and kick this. Now let's get this liner, sandwiched on here. And that's easy to do. I mean, just like that. And then you can put your scale, outer scale, on. And then you can put your pivot screw in, kind of lock things down a little bit while you get your body screws and your pivot screw, or your pocket screws and your body screws done. Okay, so we got that. Now we got body screws. And they're number 8s as well, so we'll just go ahead and kick them over, position the scale to make sure it's lined up. And this one, of course, goes back here into that standoff. And then just your pocket clip, and hold on, let me move the screws over here, but they look the same length to me. So if I'm going to do this, this is the way I usually do it. Put my driver, hold this on the tip and put it right. Yeah, just like that. That's easy. Hold this like this, put it right here, and kick it through the first hole. And that way I can get it in here. and start getting it screwed on, and then the second one do the same, unless you got a nice magnetic bit, which might be handy at this point, and put this in. Then I'll lock the lower one down first, and then the upper one. Okay. But yeah, it looks good. It looks centered right back up. So let me see if the action's the same as it was. Yeah, it's nice. That'll work. All right, we're back with the parrot and the parrot and the parrot coin, huh? How snazzy is that? You get that? And you know what? Hey, they're budget knives, right? Okay, but they have multi-row ceramic bearings. That's pretty impressive. And 154 cm blades, and they're what? I mean, on sale on this crazy Black Friday sale 2021. $60 something, and check that out. I can't remember for sure what the price was, but you know, use my link below and go there. And if you haven't gone to the sale, just make sure you establish an account or check in, because then you get one of these for free for any purchase at all. You get one of these, and of course that's the I1R2 Pro, okay? So that's 180 lumens, okay? And it's USB-C rechargeable. And I've got my, I've got my orange one out. And so check it out. Yeah, it comes apart, USB-C rechargeable. Screw it in. There's low. Of course, that's only 5 lumens, but actually that's not bad. And there's 180 lumens. That'll light you up. That's very bright. I used it outside last night. Very impressive. And you know what? It feels heavier than the previous model. More of a battery in there, or what's going on, but I don't know. It just feels more sturdy. And, you know, these are very inexpensive. So go on. Get yourself one of these for free, and check out the Parrot and the other flashlights on sale. Thanks for joining me. Yes, we do. We love them knives. We like them flashlights too. And you guys, stay sharp.